Morning, everybody. Welcome to LOCPOD, Season 7, Episode 10.
Episode.
Belgium's top-rated podcast.
Popcast.
Lindsey getting remarried.
Oh, I thought my marriage.
What happened to your first marriage?
I thought it was being
She's getting
canned
remarried.
for this article that we were going to talk about.
You're getting remarried.
I'm getting married ceremoniously. The legal stuff's been taken care of 2 years ago.
This is just the fun stuff?
This is the fun stuff because I didn't get to invite my entire family to the original one. It was just immediate
during COVID,
family.
right?
It was a
Pandemic.
COVID marriage.
It was, no, Brian stepped up big time. I thought it was really nice of him, really heroic, really husbandly when he stepped up during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And because they knew they were going to get married, and they knew that that wasn't going to be a public marriage because of the pandemic. And being honest, as a dad, Lindsey at that time was, you didn't have health insurance, which wasn't wonderful in a pandemic because she was too old to be on ours.
And I was going to school.
America 2020.
full-time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Brian.
I did have health insurance through healthcare.gov.
Yeah,
but
you
it
had
was
to
so
pay for it.
expensive.
Yeah, she was paying
it was
like
like
monthly for
$500 a month.
And then Brian dropped on his knee, and they did it. They did the marriage during the pandemic.
We got engaged on Halloween and got married December 12th.
Oh.
So, I mean, she's married already. So
This is
the
stuff.
public ceremony. And it's at the Munster Performing Arts Center, and Lindsay's an actress, so I'm skeptical.
Oh,
I'm going in skeptical, Kevin.
You mean she might be
no.
be acting?
Well, who's the priest? Who's the priest, Lindsay?
Is there a priest?
Yeah,
There is
man.
no
A
priest.
celebrant?
The master of
there's
ceremonies.
There you go.
Officiant and it's
Officiant.
Chase.
Who's the officiant?
Is it Phil?
Chase.
Chase. So
God,
that's
John.
red flag number one in my world.
That's cute. Her brother.
Chase and I share
nice.
our genetics 100%.
But Chase is
like-
also an actor, and I have a feeling
Yeah,
there's
that's
gonna
why
be
I
something
chose
we're
him.
not expecting.
Oh,
to see.
like
It's
a
at the Munster
show?
Performing Arts Center, like a
Something's gonna
show.
happen?
You know, I
Like a
asked them.
show.
I asked them if I could actually use the stage for the ceremony and all of that, and they were like, "Yeah, sure. If you pay insurance for the entire 24 hours, you'll be occupying the space."
Wow,
And
there's
I was
always
like,
a catch,
Definitely
Lindsay.
not. That's way too expensive.
Damn
Even
lawyers.
for that, even for that stage, it's too expensive.
Yeah, that was like, insurance. Like, even if just God forbid there was a fire somewhere that was not related to us whatsoever, I'd still be on the hook for that. So I was like, no, I'm not going to take that risk.
It's exciting though.
It is exciting.
All your friends.
What's the dress code? What should we wear?
Star Wars material.
I was going to say, like,
Sure,
is this
Why
a,
not?
I don't have any.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not being a bridezilla about this whole situation.
I'm wearing a suit, John.
super chill.
Which means
all
you
the
got to wear a
time.
suit.
You do have to wear a suit.
damn, man,
Just
I gotta
messing.
dig
Dude, wear what you
deep.
want.
Hey,
It's a region.
if you
It's
got
a
like
region.
Yeezys,
It's a
Do I have to wear a
or
tie?
something, you could show up
I
in
don't
your
know.
Yeezys.
I mean, I'm going to wear a tie.
Well, you're
because
the
it's
father of the
appropriate.
bride.
That's right.
Yeah, you have.
What
to wear a
colors do
suit
I
and
wear,
tie.
Lindsay?
What color will you be
Black
wearing?
is
That's
Lindsay?
what I'm saying. I want details.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a secret.
Oh.
What colors do I wear, Lindsay? Is that a secret too? I
You
mean,
can wear a black suit with a white shirt. That's no big deal.
She's gonna show up at your house.
color tie?
Wear this color. Saturday.
I'm glad we're working this out on the air.
Yeah, definitely.
We could call each other, or we could just do it here.
I think right here.
Think
Okay.
fall colors for your tie.
Really?
fall
Yeah.
color.
By
Like
the way,
pumpkin?
your wedding's right in the middle of a Notre Dame game. Did you plan it that way, or
On purpose, probably.
not that it hurts too bad this year?
yeah.
I planned it the same way Brett planned his wedding during Ludacris.
Oh yeah.
Festival.
On
That
accident,
was-
but
That
show
was-
me you love
and
me.
when we had Ludacris that year.
Yeah.
It was a big time get.
Deal.
It was a big time get for the Festival of Lakes, and then my brother Brett's wedding was right in the middle of
Right in
the
the middle.
concert. Yeah, that sucked.
That was a tough one too.
Well, that's awesome, hon. So hold it.
Thanks.
So like, if somebody protests during the wedding, like somebody objects,
It doesn't matter.
Too late.
it doesn't matter.
We're already
Okay.
married.
You had
I
your
I
chance
wanted to
December
get this
12th of
clarified.
2020.
I wanted to clarify this before. So like, and the fact that it's a performing arts center is just coincidence, or is that on purpose?
I just wanted an aspect of my acting career involved.
Okay.
But also, it was
So
the
there's
only
no, like,
place
act-
locally that was like big enough to fit all of our family and friends because there's
Yeah.
like 300 people coming to this thing.
So good to know that objections to not that you would object. You love Brian.
No, I could object. Though.
No, Dad,
Oh.
It
Dad
leaves the
likes
option.
principle?
It's
Dad
not-
likes Brian more
You
than
could
me.
interrupt this ceremony. That's the key to the whole thing. Is like you could be like,
That's the key.
"This is a sham." You it doesn't matter.
She
They're
got married
married
2 years ago.
This is it's
Let's just get to the dancing.
It's a blatant grab at presents. Let's be honest.
oh man.
Oh, that's what I
kidding.
wanted to talk about too. Was
Hey,
is there
well-
like a
What is
registry?
appropriate? Yeah.
What other benefit of a wedding publicly is there?
Other than
Celebrating with your friends and family.
I've
love.
already
That's gonna
celebrated
happen.
with
The
my
love.
friends and family.
That's gonna happen.
She's like, what's the point of a wedding anyway?
Dude, they're already
other than
jaded.
presents?
She's been married so long before her wedding that she's already jaded a little bit.
It's been
Lindsey,
like
I want
6 years.
I want you to know I'm all excited about it.
Thank
I am
you,
excited
Kevin.
about it.
I'm
Kevin is
stoked.
driving and missing his son's birthday for my wedding.
Yes. Coming up.
I tell you, he's missing his son's birthday for my remarriage.
So I'm reading the RSVP
Sorry,
right
Aiden.
now, and it says the event is semi-formal. I just want to lock
Semi-formal.
down.
Semi-formal
fine.
means suit, John.
So it means no
Can I
tux,
still wear
John.
my Yeezys though?
Yes.
means
Okay.
tux.
I
Thank
give
you.
you personal permission
It's black tie, John.
to
Wouldn't
wear
that be,
Yeezys.
Lindsey? Wouldn't that have been funny if you sent John and said it was black tie and he went out and got a tux? That would be so
I'm
funny.
the
I would
only
love
one.
He's like
that.
the only one in the whole place.
Wow,
wearing a
John,
tux.
you
Even
really-
Brian's not wearing a tux.
That
like-
would be so
I
funny.
love
We got
that. John rolls up in his tux.
Man, Lindsey, you should have let me in earlier. We
Hey,
could have.
man,
we could have
I'm-
screwed with like 3 people.
Your dad loves a good
Like
joke.
3 people show up in a tux and everybody else is dressed normally.
Let's send these 3 people the invite. Says formal, black tie.
I have a tux with the tails.
Nice. You
Why
get
don't
to play the
just wear
piano
it?
then.
John, you should wear it.
Maybe
Just-
I will.
I think that's the whole theme.
Okay.
Okay.
Wear what you want.
And
Anyway.
then you have a registry, right?
I do. It's on our wedding website.
All right,
We'll
we
throw it
gotta-
out there.
We got to get on
Yeah.
that, Kevin.
Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yes.
Kevin,
Yeah.
did you already pick a gift? Or
I was going to write a check, but I'll go on the registry.
Whoa.
Checks
Yeah.
are fine.
You sure? I'll go on the registry. I mean, I'll get you a couple of dishes if you want, or a
Get
bowl.
her dishes,
We've
Kevin.
got all of our dishes and all that. Somebody bought me. I put
That
it,
antique store in Highland, you can get some nice
Yes.
stuff there.
But
I heard
there
there's
was
a couple
a-
of nice booths there.
I put a couple of things like larger purchases on the registry list, just as like a bookmark for me for when I actually have the money to go
All
and buy
right.
it.
I'm going to check the registry out now that you mentioned it.
But somebody whom we all know here went off and bought me a 50-inch television set off of the
Whoa.
registry, and I was like, "This is too much. Do you need to
Whoa.
not?"
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I like tech and all that. I just thought
I
you
thought it
deserved
was like I was just
You're
putting it
welcome.
on there just as a joke, but people are serious and they have money, and I appreciate it, and I love you guys so much.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it.
Well, happy remarriage.
Happy
Yeah, this whole
re-wedding
process,
day.
I'm glad I won't have to do this again.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's hope not.
That's the
Yeah,
idea.
let's keep it that
Wedding
way.
planning
'Cause,
is exhausting and
yeah,
stressful,
I
and I
agree.
hate it.
It's expensive too. I just want to point that out.
Hey, I stayed $600 under budget.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
Oh, you got a
Thanks.
budget from your dad?
Yep,
All right.
Good job. Yeah,
that was the
$12.50. So.
goal. Yep.
And now Tom's got to go buy a fall tie.
You're over
He's
budget
got
now.
enough time.
Now
pumpkins
you're over
on it.
budget.
Hey, I was on the front page of IndyStar today.
I see
That
that.
article we were talking about where Caitlin Lang followed me for an entire
Hours
day.
and hours and hours.
And went to a community meeting. We were with each other probably 5 or 6 hours that day, and then she had follow-up questions. So, and then she followed it up with friends of mine and enemies of mine, and it's on the front page of the IndyStar above the fold. So pretty cool.
It's a long article.
It's really long.
In depth. I would say I would go out there and say this is the longest article that I ever that known to me about you.
For
Is that
those
fair?
watching, I'm going to
It's-
do a
it's-
scroll in
it's
real
pretty-
time here.
I got 10 pages printed, just FYI.
Wow.
Yeah, whoa. 10
Look at
pages
this.
printed.
He's still scrolling.
Still scrolling. Still
Unbelievable.
scrolling.
Still
Still
scrolling.
scrolling.
Oh,
Now,
and
now we're
that's
into the
all
ads.
Ads.
Yeah.
A woman.
Singles in your area.
Nose hair clippers. Okay. Back
Long
up.
article. But you know what? I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit for everyone in it.
That's one of the things. It was one of my quotes. That's one of the things about being mayor, said McDermott, Democratic mayor in Indiana. I was like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you could do things other people can't. And they were talking about when I drove my Shelby off road. Basically, it was like a truck.
Didn't get arrested for doing that.
No, I was showing off the city, so like we were stuck by a chain barrier, and I went into like weeds and everything in my Shelby, which is not ideal. I would do it in my truck easy.
Yep.
But I did it in my Shelby, and these two were in the car. We're like, this guy's gonna get stuck, and I knew if I got stuck, I was on city grounds anyway.
pull you
so
out.
yeah. McDermott, 53, is unpredictable, a bit of a wild card who seems to do, quite frankly, whatever he feels like doing.
Mm-hmm.
He does things maybe he shouldn't as mayor. He cusses on his biweekly podcast.
That's true.
He makes off-color jokes. He smoked marijuana in a campaign ad.
All true.
He was the mastermind of an April Fool's Day joke designating one of the city's beaches as a nude beach in 2019.
That happened. That was
That
a
was
great one.
hilarious.
That was fun.
That was
was a lot of
classic.
fun.
That was a classic. Don't tell McDermott he's the underdog, though. I think I'm going to win, McDermott told IndyStar, listing off his support for legalized marijuana and abortion right as two of the reasons he's going to win. How many people thought Donald Trump was going to win the presidency in 2016? So
That's true.
it's
John did.
he did, but there wasn't a lot. quite frankly, I think most polls that came out before the election of 2016 had Donald Trump about less than a 1% chance of winning.
Yeah.
I remember
And
those
he won.
polls.
The only
That's
one
what I'm
I
saying.
remember is like
so, like,
9%
the fact
or
is,
something.
how many people told me I had no chance whatsoever? I was looking at a poll a few weeks ago, and one of the online, and it said I had like a
Pundits.
2% chance of winning, and Todd had, it was. I think it's all bullshit. I think that I'm kicking his butt right now. I think women are going to get me elected, and I'm going to be a woman advocate in the U.S. Senate. I'm going to fight for women. I'm going to be, I'm going to have to learn a lot of the issues. But I tell you what, they're going to love who I am and how much of a soldier I am for women. Because when I beat Todd Young, it's because of women. Let's be honest.
I think one of the great things about the article was it really was a great introduction to you. Like John said, it's got a little bit of everything about you to the rest of the state, right? I mean, this is the IndyStar. It's going to go out throughout the state.
Which is what, USA Today. It'll
Yeah,
go out
Gannett,
throughout
right?
the state.
Gannett.
Yeah, Gannett, right.
Sorry.
And it's behind a paywall, which I wish it wasn't, but it is. Yeah. So if you don't have a subscription, you can't read it.
I'm sure it'll get its way up somewhere.
It talks about everything. It even it has quotes from people that hate me. It talks about some of the struggles I went through with shootings and struggles with the police department. It's pretty in depth.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought
on his podcast,
Oh,
on his podcast, McDermott calls former Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly a dick.
Yes, I saw that in there. They asterisked out a couple letters, but
on his podcast, he's called people bozos, referred to the former University of Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly as a dick, and routinely rips Young apart.
that's true.
That's a little.
That is true.
Oh, this is Kevin's quote. I would describe Tom as an emotional guy, and I think that goes both ways, said Kevin Smith, who was McDermott's campaign manager during his runs for mayor. He might cry to musicals, but he also goes the other way with his temper and can get him sometimes. But I think that, again, that makes him such a real person. I think that's what we want to see more of in our candidates. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine
Dad's cried to Phantom of the Opera and Hamilton.
I listened to Hamilton yesterday in the car, and I cried to it.
There you go. See? True.
I was bawling to it, by the way.
Well,
not just crying. Like, I'm going down the street in a Mustang, like, totally crying. So, like, I don't know why that one gets me.
Yeah. Actually, she asked me, what musical does he cry to? I said, every
Hamilton.
time he's gone to
Most
Hamilton,
of
he's
them.
cried.
If I like it, I'll cry. Like Les Mis, I cry big time. I cry big time during Les Mis. Phantom of the Opera, not so much, but I do. I've done it before. It depends on. I cried at freaking Annie.
Yeah, I did. Well,
In the opening scene.
You
I
cried
cried
at
at
musicals.
Annie.
Well, the question was like, tell me something about Tom that people might not know. I said,
He cries
at
at
musicals.
musicals.
I was like,
That's the first thing that came
He
to
loves
mind.
Broadway.
Well, I think that's.
I
think that shows it goes to what I was saying. He's an emotional guy. He wears, a lot of times he wears his emotions on his sleeve.
I'm not proud of it, and I hide it from people. I'll be like,
Not
like,
anymore.
using my sleeve a lot, stuff like that.
This is great. After the annual Indiana Dems weekend in French Lick, he tweeted a picture of a man lying in bed next to a framed photograph of Young. Oh, man.
That was stolen off the wall by one of my supporters.
What a ride this
One of
has
my
been.
hoodlum supporters
Yeah.
stole a Todd Young picture off the wall at French Lick and then took pictures of their passed out buddy with the picture of Todd Young in bed. And then I tweeted it.
And everybody got mad.
Not really. It just
That's
didn't go
hilarious.
anywhere. Like I said, I think I'm funny and I'm,
Sometimes the jokes don't go the way
yeah,
you
dude.
think they're gonna
Like I
go.
dropped it, and one of the comments early on was, "I'd rather hear you talking about women's reproductive rights." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's hilarious. Let's talk about women's reproductive rights. That's going to get a great response as a joke." Which is, I was trying to make a joke, and the fact is, nobody wants to hear.
They wanted you to be serious, Tom.
They want me to be serious. I can't be funny, and if I'm funny, I'm usually slapped.
And I think the good thing about the article is that it shows both sides of you. I mean, I think it shows even
the
Caitlin
dick
mentioned
side?
when you
Even
went
the
to the
dick-
no, I think
right.
the serious side about, like she said, that your demeanor changed right away when you went to the community meeting.
By the
And,
way,
like you were like mayor. at
yesterday,
that
I was
time.
getting interviewed by IBJ, Indiana Business Journal. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And they were talking about the podcast. This podcast, guys, is really getting me in a lot of trouble, okay? So they're like,
That's not our fault. That's
No,
yours.
I agree. No, I mean, do we want to be a good podcast or do we want to be boring? Because we have fans. I was in Southern Indiana, and I heard a number of people talking about LOCPOD. So the reporter was asking me about, some of the things I've said on the air before. And I said, I don't think that's fair because it's a totally different environment. Like
Yeah.
if you heard me in a bar talking to my buddy while we were drinking and you quoted me in the bar, it wouldn't be appropriate to read it on Sunday morning. That's why I don't think it's appropriate to quote me on LOCPOD because it's a different medium.
Well,
I was talking to the guy at IBJ. I'm like, I'm totally a different person when I'm talking to you, getting interviewed than I am on LOCPOD.
I think one of the things I remember you saying originally when the pod started is like, if you want to hear how I am talking to a bunch of my buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, you even said that. You might have even said it. Like, sitting at a bar, that's what you're going to get on LOCPOD.
John, when we sat down and made this show out, Lindsey, didn't we describe it that
there.
way?
Yeah.
We said it's like if we were getting drunk at dinner talking about politics. That's the show.
Yeah, I think you said, like, if we're sitting around just talking. Like, this is what you're going to get like.
I remember us saying drinking. But
Well, we're not
whatever.
drinking. We're
not
coffee,
drinking. I'm
but-
not saying we're drinking on the air. I'm
Sometimes
saying
we do.
if we were at True, if all of us were at True and we had a couple drinks and we
Yeah.
were talking about what's going on in the world, it gets a little loose and gets a little aggressive. That was LOCPOD right at the
Agreed.
beginning, right?
Yeah.
And here we are. We've done it.
I think that's right.
160-something episodes later. 7 seasons.
But I think
7
that's
seasons,
the-
one lawsuit.
One lawsuit. One defamation lawsuit later.
Three internet breaks. 3 internet collapses.
Only one lawsuit.
That's right.
No bankruptcies yet.
Not
We'll see
yet.
what happens with this lawsuit.
I think, but I think that's the point that you made, that you said to this guy at IBJ, like, look, I'm a totally different. Like, I'm here with you discussing serious issues. I'll be serious.
Right.
I'm going to talk about serious
Right.
issues. And by the way, I don't think LOCPOD is always a big joke. I mean, you go
for
into
sure.
serious issues.
It's
a
a
lot.
platform.
There you go.
And we have fans, and we have listeners, and subscribers, and regular listeners, and
Because they get both.
It's
because they get the
infotainment.
jokes,
right?
and
it's
they
not
get.
all because some people aren't into just nothing but news.
If we just sat here and talked policy the
right,
whole time,
you go to PBS,
go
right?
to NPR, right?
Go to NPR. It's going to be way better, right? So.
Well, or worse at NPR. I don't
But
know.
what I'm
I
saying
love
is, John,
NPR.
like obviously very factual.
course
Listen to
you
the
love
daily.
NPR.
If I'm listening to the daily, I don't expect to like be laughing my ass off.
Right.
Right. I'm listening to the daily. I want to learn something about something I don't know much
Mm-hmm.
about. Right. If you're listening to us, you could learn a couple things and you could laugh your ass off at the same time. I think it's a good show. Personally, that's why we do it. But like when you're reading a newspaper on Sunday morning and I get quoted for like a whole paragraph on something I said on LOCPOD, I can't complain about that.
Yeah, I
'cause
mean,
it's
you
fair
said
game.
it, sure.
But it's just
It's
inappropriate.
it's not the full
The
picture.
reporter called it something different yesterday. I want to say he said it was aggregated. Does that make sense to you? He
What?
said it to me, and he goes, "Yeah, that's somebody calls that getting aggregated. Like if they take a quote from,
Never heard that.
if you take a quote from one situation and apply it to another situation, it's completely not
Aggregated
appropriate.
it? Oh.
Yeah. So
I guess that makes sense because
could you look that up?
I was thinking aggregate
So-
means like put together, like all total or something like that.
Yeah, Peter Blanchard was
collectively.
his name. IBJ. I didn't want to ask
What
him
does
what
it
it meant
mean,
because it
John?
made me look
Form
stupid.
or group into a class or cluster.
Okay,
Okay. I
So
guess
you're getting
that
quoted,
makes
you get quoted, right?
sure.
It's like, yeah, you got quoted. Yeah, okay. But like I said, if I was in a bar talking to Kevin, having a private conversation, and there was a reporter sitting next to me writing down everything I said, right? Is that appropriate? No. Did I say it? Yes, I said it.
Right.
It's not appropriate because it wasn't appropriate setting. Like if I'm in a debate before the Hoosiers, the Hoosier voters, I'm going to be totally appropriate. If I'm talking to Kevin in a bar, I'm going to be way more loose. Did the words come out of my mouth? Of course they did. It's just completely different situation.
And
though.
you said LOCPOD is supposed to be a little less formal.
That's right.
And it is.
That's why when I get quoted off of LOCPOD, I don't get mad. I understand why they do it, but I'm not worried about it because LOCPOD is way more lighthearted.
I feel like you should key the banjo, John.
Key the banjo, John.
No, I'm not ready.
Oh, my God, dude. That would have been perfect. John's got to have freedom with the banjo like that.
That's right. We don't know which banjo he's going to throw out, one or two.
All right.
All right.
Let's do some
John.
ads.
Let's do some ads and come back and hear what our Senate candidate Tom McDermott has been doing.
Layer time on the
a
road.
lot
Coming back.
of travel.
All right. Lindsey, you want to start?
Sure. Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give us a call and schedule your consultation today with somebody who is in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW. That's 219-554-4LAW, or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communication provider. Tri Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years. They're dedicated to assisting their clients with their systems integration needs. Tri Electronics has the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Tri Electronics today at 800-722-6793.
Powering America. The Lake County Electricians Training Center is seeking applications for the electrical apprenticeship program. If you are a person who enjoys working with your hands in a challenging and ever-changing environment, the electrical apprenticeship might be for you. The apprenticeship opportunity provides tuition-free education along with paid on-the-job training. Successful applicants will be looking to make long-term commitments to their new career. To learn more about the apprenticeship program, please visit apply697.com. That's apply697.com. The word apprenticeship gives me a lot of trouble. Apprenticeship
Program. Aggregate.
All right. I wanted to let everybody know we're going to have Zach, check in by Zach Brown, campaign manager for McDermott for Indiana, after the next set of ads. So Zach's going to come in.
Stay tuned.
We have a funny story to talk about that happened on the road, and interesting article that came out in Indiana Legislative Insight where Republican operatives confirmed our poll results, which I thought was interesting. I know Zach was the one that brought it to our attention, so we wanted to see if he'd come back on the show.
Yeah, let's hear all about legislative insights.
So Zach will be back on in probably, 10 minutes or so. We're going to do Mayor Tom on the road right now. And
a little after the 8 o'clock hour.
Basically, I left the show last week on Friday, did about an hour or two at work, and I hit the road. And I got back.
Long weekend.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I've been gone.
You've been gone.
I did get one night where I slept in my own bed, though. I got to swing back through
quickly.
But I did 839 miles from the day I walked out of LOCPOD studio till today. And I did it all in Marissa's red Mustang, which was great. Which
Put the miles on that one. Is basically the answer to that question.
Put the miles on that one. So if you're wondering why my face looks so tan, that's the answer.
If you see Maria at the if you see Marissa at the tire shop, you'll know why.
Don't talk about Maria on the air. Sorry,
if you see
Marissa.
Marissa getting new tires, you'll know why.
If you see Maria, let her know. Yeah.
I don't even know Maria.
If you see Maria, don't tell her about Marissa. Okay?
No, I'll be careful about that.
Yeah, all right. So,
John, delete that part.
So anyway, yeah. See, that'll be the nice thing if we go to once a week and it's edited. When we screw up like that,
yes.
You can edit it out.
I have no idea.
And it never happened.
Cut it out.
Oh wait, we're not going to be live once a week?
What?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Really?
Whoa!
I've been
It'll
thinking
be
about
in
this.
DC.
It'll be like a real. It'll be like a
real
podcast instead of this
By
bullshit. You
season
guys.
11, we're going to graduate.
It'll be a real podcast instead
And then
of this
John will
bullshit.
spend hours editing.
Yeah, God,
Perfect.
Great. I kind of like live because I don't have to do anything.
Right?
That's true. That's
The
true.
podcast will be
Well,
up
we'll
like
have,
once a month.
like I said, we'll have Cantrell, and then right after that we'll have like Budweiser as sponsors, right? Pepsi, right?
Bombas socks.
Yeah.
Bombas. I'd love to have Bombas.
Bomba
as that.
socks. That would be great.
I'd love to have them
They-
as a
I'm wearing
sponsor.
Bombas right now.
They
got my-
sponsor every podcast I listen to.
Well,
Really?
what about this one?
Oh, we got to get
Nope.
up.
Not
I
yet.
guess she doesn't listen to this
50% of us are wearing Bombas right now.
I just got a new Bombas order in for the winter.
I don't know what the
For the
hell
fall.
you're talking about.
Oh, Tom.
They're just
No,
really
you've
soft,
got
comfy
Is it underwear?
socks.
We already talked about the fact Tom
And
doesn't like to wear
boxer briefs.
socks.
Huh. Anyway, so I drove out of. We were talking about underwear and socks.
Undies.
And that we need them as sponsors.
Hey,
That would be great.
Panties.
Is this where I'm going to do this?
Whoa.
I'm going to draw on this state. as
Yes,
Tom's-
yes.
I didn't know you were
exactly.
going to do this.
Check
Yes,
this
we
out.
came
I'm
up
gonna-
with this idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a state of Indiana here, and I'm going to draw.
start in
on it.
Hammond.
Okay, so start in Hammond and go to Huntington.
Start at LOCPOD Studios.
Go to Huntington.
Specific.
So I'm going to see how well John knows.
What
his
county?
geography.
No, tell me the. Yeah, I don't. know.
Huntington.
Oh, I see.
Huntington County.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Boom.
Okay.
There's the
Yes,
first one.
nice.
That's a good job.
Yeah, man.
Okay, then
Nice
go from
arrow.
there to. Okay, so there I did a really cool dinner. It was Christine Bohm, who's the 3rd District Chair,
Oh, we can't bring up the pictures, John?
had all the bigwigs over.
Dude, what do you want from me, man?
I like the lines.
So anyway,
Me too.
I did a nice there. And by the way, multiple
What
candidates
county
were
is it
there.
in?
Huntington.
Jessica McClellan was there.
That's all the way
Destiny
down
Scott
there.
Wells was there. Number of local state senate, state rep candidates. It was a great time. Bounced from there to Fort Wayne, which is Allen County, to the north.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, blue, John, blue.
Oh my God, how
Blue.
did I miss that? Okay.
Okay, all right, and then crashed. But and then when
crashed?
You
I
got into crash?
No, I was speaking of crash. We'll talk about that with. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
Allen
not it
County.
though.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
all
get
right.
there.
It says
All
that
right,
is. Yeah,
back up.
yeah.
John
It's a
is
great picture.
roll
Just
with
tell
the
me when to
punches.
There you go.
Stop.
Keep going.
Nope,
Keep
nope,
going.
that was
That's
Huntington. There you go. Allen.
yeah, that's Allen County. That's
Okay.
what I did the next morning. I did a breakfast. Lots of Democrats getting ready to knock on doors that are fired up about women losing their reproductive civil liberties in the state of Indiana. And they literally got done after hearing me speak. I was there with Jessica. Jessica and I traveled a lot together this weekend. I saw Jessica there. Phil Giaquinta was there.
From that area.
From
right?
that area.
Can
And
I
then
do
what's that?
I was just going to give another shout out to Chairman Derek, who just does a phenomenal job with Allen County.
I took Derek out to dinner, actually, because I appreciate how much him and Chad do such a great
Very
job.
organized. I don't want to forget Chad either. You're right, and they're organized. Period.
Allen County works so hard to get Democrat votes. It makes me embarrassed living in Lake County. It makes me embarrassed because we don't really work as hard in Lake County and we get votes. In Allen County, they have to it's like squeezing blood to get people to show up and poll, and they squeeze, man.
And it's
They
like
do
a
good
50-50
job.
county.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But-
why they're.
And Democrats win there.
Yep.
All
All right.
so anyway, so Allen County, left there, went to
South Bend.
St. Joseph County.
Another blue one, John.
That's also
right below the ND
It's
in
real
Indiana.
close to us, like
John,
LaPorte,
right below-
by LaPorte.
dude.
Wow.
See,
John's getting an F in geography of
That's
Indiana. Right below the.
I
There
see
you
it.
go. I see it.
now
Okay.
you do it because Lindsey
That was a
pointed
good
it out
stop.
to you.
That was a good stop. I stayed and went to some tailgates, talked to some Notre Dame fans.
Got
Went
to see Coach Freeman's first win of the year.
went
Right
to
here?
watch some bad football.
Nope,
No,
we don't have
I
anything
don't have
from St.
pictures of that
Joe.
one.
Oh my God.
Then went back to Lake County. I think John knows where that is.
Let's see.
Help me out.
Yeah.
It's another blue one.
Okay.
Go
Boom.
back.
Crashed. Tried to be a good dad because I've been gone so much.
Tried.
Patrick was living in trash when I go home. Patrick and Tommy. I had to make them take baths. I was
Fast
scrubbing
food.
their face. Yeah,
Just
there's
like
pizza
White
boxes
Castle and
everywhere.
pizza. Mhm.
Apologized multiple times. Took them out to dinner. Crashed. Okay. Woke up early the next morning before everybody woke up, and I drove to Clark County,
Blue all the way at the river, John.
all the way down.
All the way down.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh wow, I see that.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Well, get ready.
Ooh.
Oh.
Bam.
Damn.
All right.
Yep. That's right there. 270 miles.
4-hour drive had to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
more than that. Oh, well, Dad was driving really fast, so probably, 4 hours.
I was in that actually not.
6 if you're normal.
It's an easy drive. Being honest,
Like
with
we
you.
see the arrow there, but what's the route? Is it 65?
65
and then-
all the way down, and then you get off 65 and go like 6
County
7
roads or
miles.
something.
Yeah, 10 miles maybe, and then you're in Clark County.
And John, there's some pictures from that. Those are the ones that you put up earlier.
Yeah,
There you go.
Really, it was
Clark County.
it was a barbecue at this really nice area with 2 lakes, and there was a lot of people fishing and playing volleyball. It was really cool.
Chairman Chris did a nice job there.
Chairman Chris did a
Yeah.
great job. And I don't know if you can pull up this band. We could do 20-second clip. They're Outbreak. So I'm listening to these guys play. Hold on.
I don't
Before
have
you don't have it.
The sound was too low. Sorry.
Okay.
Sure.
Could I play it on my iPad? It'll play.
Sure.
No, I'll do it this way.
John, there's a couple more Clark County pictures too. If you go for yep, that's Clark County. I think people running
Yeah.
for office there.
Yeah,
right?
running for office, state senate,
Love
advisory
those
board.
tats.
Right.
Seems cool.
No, that's the next one, John. That's not yet. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, and
Here's
so
this
I'm
band.
so I'm listening to this band play, and it's just background music, and I'm working right, and then I hear Detroit Rock City.
Oh,
And I love
Can't
that
beat
song,
that, but me
right?
too.
Yeah,
we
that
don't need a
song.
band. We've got you.
So, and I look over, and it sounded pretty good, and I'm like, the music definitely was good, and the
Caught your
word-
attention too. Because
totally
you know
caught
the
my
song,
attention, and it's a
right?
great song. And I turn around, it's a bunch of kids.
Wow.
The lead singer's like 13 years old, and so I'm gonna play it because it sounds good. So just to give you a taste, okay, here it is, real quick.
Everybody's gonna leave their feet. Get down, everybody's gonna leave their feet. You gotta lose your mind to Detroit. Rock City. Get up, everybody's gonna leave their feet. Get down, everybody's gonna leave their feet. It's getting late.
All right.
I like the effort.
It's great, right?
Yeah,
They're a bunch of
I thought the music was good, and
the music is definitely good.
he's
And
trying to bring it.
the
vocals.
lead singer is like 13 years old. Okay, the keyboardist is like 15 and 14. The guitarist 15, 14. The drummer is probably 14.
Definitely great for that age.
And they're named Outbreak, by the way. They're from Clark County.
I appreciate the fact that they actually like to play Detroit Rock City.
They were playing all like Pink Floyd.
Wow,
they were playing
raised
like,
right, man.
They were raised right. But so anyway, I went over and talked to him, and I did my old joke, my normal joke with him. Gave him a card. Said, "What, Kevin?"
If you ever get a speeding ticket in Hammond, just let me know. And they said, "Oh,
Everybody laughs at that one.
make sure you give that card to your parents."
That's right. Yeah. So I left Clark County, which was great, and I went to Scott County,
Just
which is
adjacent to the north, yellow. Short
Oh,
drive.
yeah.
Little short
little,
drive.
Little short jaunt here.
little
Okay.
short jaunt. Scott County is a beautiful place with a Democratic, popularly elected sheriff, with Democratic council people, with Democratic commissioners. We used to win down there. We used to win Clark County as well. And during the Trump years, we lost that whole area, and we need to get it back.
I think it's pretty cool though that like when you go to these counties, you see Democrat elected officials. Like you said, like in Scott County, the circuit court judge I know is a friend of Judge Marissa's. Because they know each other through the judge things. Democratic commissioner, Democratic sheriff Jerry Gooden. And there's some that's a really cool place. Montgomery Farms in Underwood.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Really
nice
nice little
people.
place. Yeah, there's a couple more, John, I think.
Hey, do me a favor, John. There's a picture. That's
Patty
me and
Yount,
Patty Yount,
yeah.
who's on the Democratic National Committee. She's awesome. She's been a huge fan of mine and supporter from the get-go when I ran for U.S. Senate. And she's
lives
wearing a
down there.
McDermott for Senate shirt. I tell you, Patty and Linda Lawson, who I ran into in Clark County, Patty and Linda have been, from day one when I announced I was running, they've been pushing me big time, and I love them for it. And so Patty and I don't get to see each other as often on the campaign trail, and I ran into her in Scott County, and that was a nice
awesome.
picture.
Keep going, John. Oh,
No, not that one. Hey,
was
John, go
one
back
of
a couple pictures. There's a picture of a flag, a bunch of flags. Oh, you don't have this one?
Yeah,
it
maybe.
didn't make the cut.
No, there's one. Okay, well, I must not have put it in there. Sorry. There's a picture I took here where it's hard to describe. I'm in Scott County, and I walk out, and I was like, oh, that's nice of them. They put my sign out, and there's a sign for me and the sheriff and the county commissioner, council people, house member, congressman, and then I look in the background across the street. There's this house, and they're flying an American flag, and right below it's a Trump flag.
Whoa.
So seriously.
That's how it is down there.
Oh, yeah. I'm literally like, going to red counties and trying to win Democratic votes.
And I think the positive thing of those counties is that you have Democratic elected officials.
A Democratic
it's
sheriff.
not like impossible.
A Democratic sheriff.
Yeah, Democratic
By
sheriff.
the way, a badass Democratic sheriff. He reminds me a lot of our sheriff in Lake County. I liked him a lot. Jerry Gooden.
Jerry Gooden.
He's great.
And by the way, thanks to Chairman Denny Wilson down there, did a great job in Scott County. So
Okay, so left Scott County, went to Marion County.
Oh,
John
I
should know where that is. All
Yeah.
right, he's going to be able to get that.
Okay, Marion County. I had a number of appointments. I got interviewed by the Indiana Business Journal. I met with the county officials. I met with the state party officials. Toured plumbers, steam fitters, pipe fitters, new building. Plumbers Local 440. I want to thank Don Bowe from the UA. For taking me around.
There you go. There you are.
Yeah, that's Don and I. Dude, he took me through the school, what all the apprentices have to go through. It's amazing. The plumbers and the steam fitters and the pipe fitters and the welders and everything. It's really, really cool.
And you said this is a new place, so they just reinvested
yeah,
in their
it
school.
was only a $13 million building, but I think it's because
Wow.
they're the trade, so a lot of the work I'm sure was real cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So
plumbing for sure.
So anyway, I did overnight in Marion County, which was my third day on the road, and then John, I wrapped up by driving back home.
Mm-hmm.
That was my.
That's
what I've done since LOCPOD.
Travel.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Could you send that to me, John? That picture?
Yeah.
I'm
Screenshot
dropping that.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm dropping that. That's a good tweet right there.
I like it.
832 miles. So I've been a busy candidate. So why don't we go ahead and do some ads, and then when we come back, we're going to Skype in Zach, who's the campaign manager. We're going to talk about an incident that happened to me in Fort Wayne. It was pretty hilarious, I thought. And we're going to talk about an article in Indiana Legislative Insight. It's written by Ed Fagenbaum, where Republican operatives confirmed our poll results, which I thought was interesting.
There you have it.
Which means, I mean,
Headline.
we know that Todd Young did a poll right after ours, and now people are whispering to Ed that the numbers are right. But they had a couple spins on it that I don't like, but we'll talk about that with Zach on the line.
Right.
So let's go ahead and pull Zach up, John, and I'll go ahead and start. And then Misprint Printing. Misprint specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and under budget. Misprint's experience and technology allows them to offer custom, commercial, on-demand printing, sign solutions, and that's right, metal freaking business cards.
How are those rolling? No
They're
problem.
They're rolling well. Yeah,
Good.
I think I'm already behind on technology, but I'm still running with it because I'm a region guy.
I think you're all over it. Those are good.
I'll talk about that in a second. But on-demand printing, sign solutions, and metal business cards. Rick Baltonsberger and his team have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana markets for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations to serve you in Hammond and in Munster.
Calumet Brewing. We welcome you to try Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer brewed for those who understand it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Containing only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and 4.2 alcohol by volume, Michelob Ultra is a light lager brewed with the perfect balance of hops and wholesome grains, producing a light citrus aroma and a crisp, refreshing finish. Check out our social media for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio. Our brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private event like weddings, reunions, or corporate parties. They're conveniently located just off of 8094 and the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. For more information, check out bywaybrewing.beer.
Preston Insurance Agency. The Ron J. Preston Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, serving all of your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Preston Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses all around the Chicagoland and Midwest area. Call Ron, Ronnie, or Michael at 219-844-0103. And I want to ask everybody while they're watching and listening right now to remind you that our podcast is driven by your stats. So if you like or comment on our podcast, that makes us more attractive on algorithms. So
Right, Lindsey?
help us out by liking or commenting or loving, or even if you freaking hate us, talk about it.
Don't do the down thumb.
Whatever, man.
I want the up thumb.
As long as we get...
Yeah.
As long as people are talking.
Thumbs
Give me a
up.
down thumb.
Apple Pod, Spotify, YouTube.
Stitcher, iHeartRadio.
I don't
on
even
there.
know why I'm here anymore. You
Well,
guys are just going to
we
take
need to
my
push this
job.
more, seriously, because we have tons of fans. And, like,
Why aren't you
honestly...
saying your thing?
I wasn't prompted to.
But, like, we have... Honestly, I think this is an honest appeal. Like, we have a lot of people that listen to the show, and the show could get bigger into a wider variety of audiences if we all comment and like, and even if give us honest feedback. You suck, you know, McDermott. Talk less. I don't care, whatever it is. Just say it, and as long as you say it, it'll like kick us up in the algorithms. So
That's true, because then you start getting, like, you might like these podcasts.
That's right. Yeah.
On your feed.
Anyone look at our latest review?
No.
I haven't either.
We have one.
Probably.
Okay.
Wow. All right, we got to do that.
Oh my
Next
God,
show.
I had the craziest. Oh
Make
my
that
God.
part of mailbag, John.
Here we
Next
go.
show.
All reviews.
Hey, you want to do a mailbag real quick? Let's pull up Zach real quick. But
Yeah, we can go back
He's
to
on.
mailbag.
Been pulled. He sent
Oh,
us
hey,
hearts
Zach.
when we were talking about how
he sent us hearts.
Yeah, on the
When
I
we-
had
side.
the nicest email sent to me, and I forgot to put it on the list. Hold on, real quick. What's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
Hey, how are
Good
you guys?
morning. I need some volume on Zach there, John.
Maybe Zach needs to be louder.
Testing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
that
you
might
are.
be that might
There
be
you
me.
are.
Okay,
Much
there
better.
we go.
Much better. Good
Okay.
morning.
Yeah, I'm sending
Campaign
hearts out
manager
here. I'm liking
extraordinaire.
and subscribing. I'm doing all kinds of stuff to
like that.
lift LOCPOD up. You know?
Thank
You are
you.
using your Skype
You're
very
very
effectively
sweet.
this morning.
Hey, Zach, want to hear a cool letter or a cool
Yeah.
letter mailbag?
John, mailbag.
All right,
Mailbag.
all right. This is actually an email I got that totally lifted my spirits. I was down when I got
Awesome.
back. I was 832 miles on the road. I get back. This is the first email I open. Hey, Tom, I wanted to share this bit of fun trivia with you from Purdue Northwest. It's my alma mater.
That's where I go to
Right.
school.
That's where Lindsey goes to nursing school. Information Services hosted our second annual PNW scavenger hunt during the first 2 weeks of school. The participants were entered into a random drawing to win one of 5 iPads Air. We had 67 questions on the scavenger hunt. one of our more popular questions was, name a famous PNW alumnus. The most common answer to that question was Thomas McDermott
Wow.
Jr. Isn't that cool?
Love it.
That was so nice. I was like,
Who was
wow.
second place? I'd love
I
to.
don't know. Good question. I think, yeah. No, there's actually, PNW has a ton of very successful, very wealthy people. And I'll tell you, for me, it was great because I needed to go to night school. And at that time, you could get your 4-year degree at night, and I did.
GI Bill.
I'd used a GI Bill. I had a full-time job during the day, and I went to school continuously at
Well,
night.
I think that's why places like PNW are such a great option in the community when people do have to, when they don't have traditional ability to attend college.
Well, look
right?
at Lindsey.
Yep.
Like Lindsey right now is at PNW nursing school, and she switched careers basically, and this gives her that opportunity.
During a pandemic.
It's not like you've done 4 years at IU and then you go off to your career and then you're like, I'm going to go back to IU for 4 years.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way.
No, it's
right.
too. It's
Life
far.
gets in the way.
Like I've got friends and family here. I was dating Brian at the time, and
Now your husband.
now my husband, and he
Quote,
went- he
unquote.
was-
To be
The
remarried.
quote
he
unquote
was
your
supporting
husband
me. And,
until
and
Saturday.
Zach, to answer your question, second place was me. I was
No,
Oh,
I didn't even think of that.
It wasn't Phil.
Notorious.
The
the notorious LMP.
No.
Well, that's nice. Very nice.
So
And-
Zach was staffing me, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if Kevin knows this story, Zach.
It's going to freak him out, isn't it?
I think
It would have been my first call if it had gone the other way.
Oh,
this
no.
is a really good
I'm
story.
glad to hear it
everybody.
didn't.
So this is definitely worth sticking around for, because Kevin's going to hear something. It's going to start getting nervous. But the good news is that's Kevin.
Great.
Kevin,
You're here and you're
everything's fine.
You've survived.
We did
All right,
well.
Good.
Okay?
All right. Then I'm interested.
Because Zach and I, when we get together, he staffs me, but we also we're kindred spirits in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
We see the world similarly. We approach life the same way. And so Zach and I, we have a nice dinner in Fort Wayne, right, Zach?
Yes, very nice.
It gets done
With
at
our
what?
chairman,
With
Derek.
Chairman Derek, right?
Love Derek.
So we get done. It's like what, midnight-ish?
That's a late dinner.
Well, I was driving all damn day, right?
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to take out the chairman, and I knew I was going to take out Zach. It was premeditated on my part. So we went out. We had a good time. And it was late, but we got done. Derek goes back home, and Zach and I are like walking back to our hotel, and we come across a couple of those scooters.
Oh, God.
Did somebody get a
You
photograph?
could see it in his eyes immediately. Like he caught it from across the street, and he's like,
did.
"Oh, we're riding these scooters right now."
It's like a kid in the candy store. Like
So-
he sees a scooter. Look
Zach
out.
wasn't fighting, by the way.
Of course. All right. All right. See, I probably would have said like, nah, it's getting late.
You and I scooted around D.C., buddy.
We did late. Yeah,
Okay.
You're right.
So Zach
They
and I are
had
doing
little
the same
lights
thing.
on them and stuff.
They do.
You can't pass that up. You know,
They were fast as hell, weren't they, Zach?
They were
God,
a
this
little
story's not
faster
going
than I
well.
was expecting.
They were fast, man.
I need a governor on it for Tom.
And there's no traffic. It's freaking midnight in Fort Wayne. So, we're literally
Wow.
in charge of the city. Zach and I, we're cruising around
sure Mayor Henry was happy to hear that.
We had it locked down. No problem, Mayor Henry. We got you.
We did a
They
very
were
good
doing
job.
patrols.
We were making sure everything was fine in Fort
Very
Wayne.
good. Very good.
And for the most part, we're on the street, right?
For the most part.
well, you know me. I
Yes.
started going up on the sidewalk, and I'm jumping off, and we're going
Doing
fast.
tricks.
I'm
Doing a
doing
wheelie.
shit. Right?
Sounds like San Diego, where Tom was off-roading in a scooter.
we did off-road in a scooter in San
No,
Diego.
you off-roaded in a scooter.
Literally,
too.
Lindsey, you should
and
have
your
seen
friends watched.
this. It was like a mountain bike trail, and we were on scooters on a mountain bike trail.
Tom's like, come this way. And they just follow. All right.
It
And
was
we
awesome.
were in deep shit. We were carrying our scooters for a long
Yeah,
way.
there you go.
Yeah, we
That
hit
was-
multiple of those dead areas where they just
did.
It doesn't get back on the road.
They
we just put them on
geocache
our
it.
back and just start hiking
Oh,
with it.
God.
Yeah, dude. Around the
Wow.
baseball stadium, you couldn't use a scooter. We had to push through that area, right? Well, anyway, so Zach and I finally get going again after we got geocached out of this area, and we're going fast. And it's sort of like a darker area. It's not we're downtown, but we're in the darker part of downtown. It's sort of a little bit rougher. It's not as beautiful as the area we were because we're all over. And I'm on the sidewalk, going
Sounds
hard,
great.
and I wiped out. It's the
God.
sidewalk
Oh, my God.
drops 6
Lord.
inches and I couldn't see it because it's dark. And Zach is following me, and I just wiped.
Wait, I want to hear Zach, what was going through your mind when you saw that?
I swear, not only my life, but his life flashed before my eyes at this moment.
You're like, oh, F.
It was a violent fall.
You're like, there goes the campaign,
Yep.
the beautiful
There
face
it
for the
goes.
campaign.
No,
Tom's
his
in a
face
wheelchair.
is
Beautiful
Tom,
face.
we're wheeling Tom to
You're
his next
still a vote
event.
for me, right? My face is just like
Scabbed
demolished.
over.
Like, it's
I
not
lost
about
my
the looks,
looks.
Indiana. It's
I
about
lost
what
my
I'll do
looks
for
in
you,
a
right?
scooter accident.
Yeah, right.
Why is there road rash
Yeah.
on your face?
It's like
Yeah.
permanent injuries
Oh,
to my
God.
face.
Let me kiss your babies, all like
No!
pussy and scabby.
Your kids cry every time I come around. It would have been bad.
This could have been bad, campaign manager.
So what happened?
I mean, it was literally flipped over the handlebars.
Oh.
I mean, and then somehow just pops up, and it's like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, that
That
sounds
was
like
my
any
word.
like injured guy.
That was my
not
word. I
wants
go,
to-
I think I'm good. He goes, Are you all right? I'm like, I think so, yeah. And I was standing there. I rolled through it. It was weird. It was like a bike wreck, and I've been in bike wrecks
You
before.
don't look terribly worse for the wear. I'm
Well,
glad
I just found some more road rash last night. I got road rash between my fingers. I got road rash
There
on
you
my
go.
arm. My leg took the brunt of it.
That's good. Better than your face.
But I like jumped up, and I'm like, I'm good.
you know how
Zach's
you
like,
see
"You're-"
people do that? Like, I'm fine.
Yeah,
And
and
the next
their
day,
arm
you're
is
like,
like,
Sticking out of his leg or something
Right.
terrible.
I'm good. So this is the classic part. So Zach suddenly like becomes like the stern parent.
it's about time, Zach.
Follow me. And I like follow him. Like we're going slow too.
Follow
We're
me
like
if
half
you
the
want to
speed.
live.
He like pulls up to the hotel, turns this thing off. He's like, turn it off.
Yeah. Off to bed.
We're done. Go to bed.
You had your fun.
It was so funny. He became like the stern campaign manager after
It's
that.
about time.
Yeah, the
Shut
scooter
up, Kevin. He's
incident.
having fun.
Good. Well, Zach, good job getting him home safely.
We got it done in the end, you know.
It's the end that counts.
Hey, Zach. Yesterday, you sent me an article from Indiana Legislative Insights that I found interesting.
Yeah.
They were talking about our poll results that we dropped a few weeks ago.
Turns out they might not be as bad as they, or I guess as disreputable as they would have led us to believe.
Well, let's talk about real quick, just so the folks know online. Zach, explain Legislative Insights, Ed Feigenbaum, because he's obviously well known in certain circles, but
Especially-
and respected. So I just want to make sure that Zach kind of
Especially
Yeah,
Lindsey.
yeah, Ed Feigenbaum. Yeah, he's the editor of a newsletter, paid newsletter that kind of tracks Indiana politics and legislation, and he has another one that's about gaming, and but it's this kind of an insidery, newsletter that a lot of people are subscribed to in the world of
Like
politics.
respected.
lobbyist politicians.
Well respected. Yeah, absolutely.
But like the type of person that would get it would be like people like us, politics.
Totally.
Absolutely right.
People
Absolutely.
that are
Yeah,
lobbyists.
people that work in the state house, right?
People that work in the state house. It's a great, if you want to know like the inside baseball stuff, Indiana Legislative Insight, much like Howie Political Report and other similar types of online podcasts. And this is online, but you can print it out. But so they're talking about the poll that we dropped, and I'm going to read it off. How much of an outlier was that mid to late August poll for the U.S. Senate challenge campaign of Mayor Thomas McDermott Jr.? The Change Research survey showed Senator Todd Young leading Mayor Tom by just a 45 to 42% margin, in contrast to conventional wisdom that this would be a cakewalk for Senator Young. Since then, Republicans have been telling us that polling they've been privy to suggests that this snapshot, if expanded both ways to favor the incumbent within the margin of error, may not be too far off. This means that they are acknowledging our polling numbers, which
Yeah,
I
think that's right.
Ed Feigenbaum's big time, and he's talking to leaders. Probably Todd Young started doing a poll right after we came out with our story.
I would argue that he probably had polls before ours.
Right.
No doubt. He had polled before. And two of the things that I thought stuck out about this little blurb in here was and I'll just read the next little paragraph here, Mayor. The problems Senator Young faces were told by his allies. His refusal to fully embrace the 45th president, Donald Trump, has significantly hurt him with the Trump base, and McDermott's populist appeal may pick off some who would otherwise choose to sit this race out. And he has failed to generate any excitement among the general GOP base, which, by the way, is exactly what our poll told us.
Yep.
That's right.
Exactly what we released. And,
Our
and let
poll of
everybody
Trump
know.
voters had only 80% of Trump voters supporting Todd Young, and my poll with the same Trump voters and Democrats, obviously, I had 95% support among Democrats.
Among Biden voters, right? Yeah, that's
Right.
right. Yeah. So I think the point there is that you've congealed the Democratic base to say, yeah, I'm voting for Tom, and he has not done the same with the Republican base, the
Dude,
Trump base.
When I was talking to Katie Lang, that's exactly what I said. I said, you've got people in Indiana who question the election. Todd Young certified the election results. You've got the gun reform bill that Todd Young signed on for. These are big issues for Trump voting
You're right.
Republicans in Indiana.
That's great what you just said.
And so in other words, John, there's a chance that they could either sit out or vote for the Libertarian.
Right. I think they should vote for the Libertarian.
Yeah. But I mean, I think, Zach, one of the things I found interesting about the Feigenbaum article also was, like, you know, when they acknowledged basically the numbers, whereas Todd Young's campaign came out and was like, the methodology sucks. The firm they chose is a Democratic firm. It's all BS. And the reality is it's not. This kind of says that they've acknowledged the numbers.
They've acknowledged the numbers. But they also said that I'm tapped out at 42%. They said that McDermott's poll is correct, but that's as high as he's going to get, is 42%.
They must have forgot that.
Well, we know these guys always tell the truth, right? So we have to believe that part.
What's
that? We know these guys always tell the truth when they're talking to these reporters, so we have to believe that we're topped out there. But no, I mean, it's funny. These are all the political, you know, answers or accusations we'd expect when a campaign starts to kind of get nervous, right? And I think it's just once again another point of that's what we're seeing. These guys are nervous because they're seeing what we're seeing. Momentum that is extremely in favor of pro-choice candidates. That's extremely in favor of kind of these no bullshit candidates like like the mayor. And they don't want these empty suits that are just going to come out here and talk the party lines and give the talking points and sound like Washington D.C. And I think that's what all of these polls are telling us right now.
Well, and I think also, let's not forget that our poll did say 11% undecided. So like that's the unknown, right? And so there you have it. And if that breaks our way, which we think it's going to because of the things Zach just mentioned, mayor's a winner.
I think I'm going to get 60% of the women vote. I'm going for it. 60% of the women vote. Last time I checked, that's half the population. And if I can get 60% or more of the women vote, I don't see how Todd Young beats me. I just don't. And I am telling women, and I'm deadly serious about it, is I want to be your candidate. I want to do right for women in America, and I want to protect abortion rights for women in America against national bans like the one that's being proposed by the GOP in the United States Senate. I want to make sure that I'm a fighter for women, and I know when I get elected as Indiana's next U.S. Senator, I know how I got there. I got there because women banded together and supported me, and I promise you, with on a stack of Bibles, I'm going to fight for you and make you proud.
Yeah, and I think Mayor, you've been saying that around the state, and I think it resonates because people, especially women, are like, we need somebody there that's actually looking out for keeping our rights, not taking them away, or making sure that politics isn't getting in between me and my doctor. Mm-hmm. And you've said that on the campaign trail. You mean it because I know you, and it sounds to me like a winner.
I mean, think about Lindsey Graham came out with the national 15-week ban, which,
it got ripped by everyone.
It got ripped by everybody. It got ripped by his own party, but also it limits places like California, like Illinois, the states that allow abortion rights, New York, that allow abortion rights to exist. And it also imposes 15 weeks upon Indiana, that wanted to be more extreme than that. So nobody was happy with that proposal, but it's bans like that, and it's not just going to stop there, guys. Obergefell needs to be codified as well. Obergefell is same-sex marriage. That needs to be codified as well, as far as I'm concerned, because that's going to be the next,
battleground,
target
right?
of the GOP.
I think one of the things I heard that was interesting about the 15-week ban was that most genetic abnormality tests aren't even necessarily complete and valid till after 15 weeks. So you would have genetic abnormality situations that may, if that would go through, that you've got all those folks that run into that terrible situation and decision that wouldn't even be able to take advantage. So scary stuff.
And by the way, isn't it so typical that in this article, they fail to mention even the most basic stuff, which is this campaign and this election is about choice right now. And they don't want to acknowledge, why this might be closer than they think. They just want to talk about the punditry side of the horse race side of, this might be closer than we think. Well, why is that, right?
Exactly,
it's because there's huge issues on the table here that Todd Young got wrong. And it's that simple. And we're going to continue to go out there and talk about that. And that's what this campaign is about. And so
when I read the article, Zach, I had the same.
Head's just in the sand about it.
I had the same takeaway. It's like they're still trying to find excuses to why everything's changing when it's so obvious what it's about. It's about women's reproductive rights and the abortion issue. That's why
they don't want to say it.
They don't. It's funny. I agree. I got the same impression when I read Ed's article. It's like, I know why it's changing. If Todd doesn't know why it's changing, Todd Young thinks he could blast $3 million worth of TV commercials, and it's going to change the fact that he helped orchestrate the overthrow of Roe versus Wade. You can't run commercials and fix that, Todd. I have bad news. That's what November 8th is about. It's about women. It's about women making sure that they vote against people like Todd Young that took away their reproductive rights. That's what it's about. Everybody else is trying to make an excuse, talking about the price of gas, talking about inflation, talking about the CHIPS Act. Nobody cares about that right now. They care about women losing their reproductive rights. That's what this whole turnaround's about. And that's what I know. And that's why I'm telling you, women, I promise you, I will be your fighter. That's why I'm saying it. And if Todd Young hasn't got that memo yet, it just shows how out of touch he is.
And I think that's and I agree with you, Mayor. And the one thing we've learned on the campaign trail is Todd Young likes to play this close to the vest. I'm your senator. I'm going to be really official. And he doesn't he doesn't want to dive into the issues that really matter, including this choice issue. In fact, he's been on record, and he doesn't talk about it. He hasn't talked about it. He probably won't talk about it. He's been on record since 2016 is saying he's against reproductive rights, no exceptions.
Yep. And then
no exceptions.
Then he followed through with it as a senator. So now he's going to try to run from it. He'll be one of those guys that's trying to scrub his record so that you can't, so it's not obvious that he's one of the main reasons Roe versus Wade was overturned.
Yeah. So, all right, Zach. Well, thanks for coming on.
I like the check-ins, keeping us up to date, Zach. And
absolutely, we got 7 weeks. We got 49 days from right now to figure this out. So we have to mobilize all of the women, all of the Democrats, all of the independents, all of the Republicans that look at Todd Young a little, with shifty eyes, saying, "I don't know who this guy is really, if he works for me." So that's what we're going to keep doing.
Hey, one question before you leave, Zach. We're doing campaign election night in the region, right?
Yeah.
Got him on record.
No details yet.
Got him on record.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, put me on the spot.
Got him on record. So we're moving the campaign team from Indianapolis to the region for election night.
Nice. All right, good.
Kevin,
take the numbers up here.
Obviously,
get it organized.
The night that we beat Todd Young, I want to be a
party in the region.
I want to be right here in Hammond.
Nice.
So Hammond, if Hammond,
center of Indiana politics that night.
Hammond will elect a U.S. senator if we do our job the right way, and we'll celebrate the victory right here in Hammond, Indiana. So thank you, Zach, for doing a great job and keep working hard. Tell everybody I said, hey, it was good to see everybody yesterday.
We'll see you in Johnson County tonight, by the way.
All right,
yes,
thanks.
You go.
See you.
Yep. Oh, and hey.
Oh
no!
I'm sorry.
We'll save it for next week.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach.
That's all right. That was planned.
Quick reminder to everybody out there, because this is something serious, and that is make sure you're registered to vote. I just had some new neighbors move in. If you've moved, if you've gotten married and changed your name, anything like that, or if you're not registered, go to indianavoters.com, check your registration. I think today is voter registration day. Like in America, like National Voter Registration Day.
Right.
So celebrate that by checking your own voter registration. Make sure you're registered. Make sure your kids are registered, and make sure everybody you know is registered.
All new voters, 70% of them are going to break my way. So if you want to help get me elected, get new people registered, make sure they show up to vote. I like our chances. 70% likely that those first-time voters and those irregular voters, the ones that don't vote in every election, if they do vote this year, they're voting with us.
Agree with that. And 55,000 new registrations since Roe versus Wade, and a majority are women.
Ding. That's a smile on my face.
Which, by the way, goes again to what Zach was saying, that they don't want to talk about that.
No,
they just want to say, like, oh yeah, this is his max. This is his ceiling.
42%. That's
blah,
it.
Blah, blah. It's
like I'm magically limited at 42%.
And I think the pundits.
There's no way I could get higher than 42%.
Right.
It's impossible for McDermott to get higher than 42%. I think I can get to 62%.
You know what I say?
That's what I do in Hammond.
What I say? That's your floor.
Oh yeah,
I see it as your floor.
These people are going to be shocked because in Hammond, I get big majorities all the time. So the more Hoosiers that meet me, the more people are going to vote for me. That's where I'm coming from. That's why I'm in Clark County. That's why I'm in Scotts County. That's why I'm going to Greenwood tonight. That's why. The more hands I shake, the more people I talk to, the more votes I'm going to get. 42 is my floor.
The more miles you put on Marissa's car.
The more miles I put on my wife's car.
That map again.
I like that map.
Look at that.
Greenwood. That was just Thursday. That was Friday to Monday.
Yeah, so today I'll hit Marion and Johnson.
That was Friday to Monday?
That's Friday to Monday, dude.
Oh, man. In the caption, I put, Tom drove 800 miles in a week. That was less than
72 hours.
Friday to Monday.
Gosh, man.
That was a lot of driving.
Wow.
That's why my face looks so tan.
By the way,
and
Zach,
no road rash.
Zach put in the chat what he was going to say before I hung up on him prematurely. He was just going to say congrats to Lindsey on her remarriage, but
that's
Lindsey
okay.
left.
She already left,
Zach,
right, so it doesn't matter. She took off on us.
It's all right. It's all right. So anyway, we're going to hit that last story. We're going to save it again.
No, save it.
Okay.
We'll save it.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to LOCPOD. Now you know why we're Belgium's top-rated podcast. And don't forget to rate and subscribe. Okay, seriously, we're serious about that. I know you guys love LOCPOD. I hear from you all the time. You know, John, I know that sometimes this is hard for us, but John, like when I'm across the state and I hear people come up and talk to me about LOCPOD, it's just it's so much of a motivation to keep going. I mean, Kevin, you hear it too, right?
Yeah, it's actually kind of in a way for me. It's almost like disbelief when I hear it, because I guess maybe I just, like I've said on here before, I assume we're just talking to like our friends and family, but it is kind of fun when you go around the state and you see somebody who's like, "Can I take a picture with you guys?" Or I listen to every episode. It's not just Mayor Joe Hogsett, but there's other people too.
It makes me very proud that we started this show that people enjoy, and I enjoy it as well. So thank you for listening. And if you really love us, and if you really are a fan, please rate us and subscribe, and make sure you subscribe. Don't just download them. Subscribe, because that looks good for us. So please go out there and do that for us. Okay, if we start doing that, we'll be like Pod Save America before you know it. So.
I'm on Apple Pod. We have our latest review is from Friday.
I love it.
Someone posted a review.
Save it.
Save it?
Save it.
All right, I'm not even going to read it.
Next
Is
time.
it good?
It's great.
Save it.
Why?
Come on. That's going to be great for next episode. Everyone's
but
done.
people could
We're
log
done
on
today.
and log
Save
on.
it.
Okay.
We're already down. Everyone's leaving.
All right.
Wants to get the hell
Love
out
you
of here.
guys.
No.
Thanks.
I think I want to save it.
Thanks to the Notorious LMP. Thanks to John Vez.
Yeah.
Rate and subscribe. We love you. Thanks to Kevin Smith for helping us out. That is, again, Belgium's top rated podcast. Nice to see y'all. See you guys on Friday. Zanae Brooks is going to be our guest on Friday. See you guys on Friday.